More goodies. There's the other thing that cost a lot. That big spray hose. Just look at all these goodies. Banjo fittings. And then this. The piece de resistance. Or at least the price to resistance. You know what? We're gonna take this out here. This requires special treatment. Can you figure out what it is? Hopefully not that. Hopefully not that. Oh, I see what he did. Put all these goodies in here. Goodness gracious. Little jet agitators there. There's my spray gauge. Well, not spray gauge, pressure gauge. There we go. Goodness. Can't talk. Again, this is all from Spray Parts Warehouse. Honestly, they're cheap. Pretty cheap source for parts, I must say. Now these are going to be for our individual tanks. And there is the expensive part. Right there at the bottom. Put all these goodies back in here. Now, the piece de resistance. Most expensive part of the day. The flow regulator. 200 and some odd dollars. 250 bucks, I think, just for this. Goodness gracious. Anyway. We needed it. The one that's on there does not work. None of those valves worked. Probably just got some moisture in it. The ones on that spray boom. I was all excited that, oh, it came with the ball valves, it came with everything, but, well, no go. So, anyway, that was the unboxing, guys. Those are the first unboxing on this channel. I know a lot of people love those, I guess. I don't know. I didn't do a very good job, I know. But I tell you who did. Spray Parts Warehouse. I am definitely using them again. So, I think what we're going to do, we're just going to start piecing things together on this. As far as the plumbing goes. We'll tear all this apart up here. This is all the old valves that didn't work, and kind of see what we're left with up here as far as space goes. And yeah, this is it's gonna be fun tearing this all apart, but it is what it is. So I'll take you along for the ride, guys. Oh, I know what else I was going to show you. I was kind of mucking around this morning. I got the side panel off over here. I'm going to punch a big enough hole here to accept the plug-in from the GPS receiver. I'm also going to pull, well, not pull, but the controller cable from there down to our valves when we get that far. So I'm gonna bore this out large enough to get those ends through. Yeah, we'll have a big ugly hole there, but not much I can do about it. So, without further ado, let's get some stuff done. Time to unpack this T-jet manifold. I think I did this in another video. Could be wrong. This is an eBay find. There was a spray store, I guess, going out of business or having a closeout, whatever you want to call it. And well, long story short, I got this thing for a quarter of the price. Yeah, quarter, third, somewhere in there anyway. These are normally, well, just each of the valves, I mean, they're somewhere in the range of they're somewhere in the range of $250 a pop. Actually, more like $300 a pop. So you're looking maybe 900,000 bucks just in the valves, and then this add another 100, so probably 1,000. I think I paid $400 for this. That's with shipping and all the fees, etc. I'm not whining, I know that. When I saw it, I was like, yep, we're gonna do that. Make it work. Then I think Spray Parts Warehouse is where I saw, when I was on there buying all the other goodies, I saw one of these. I think they were asking like $1,200. So I don't know if it's because of this manifold that makes it so expensive or what. But anyway, there's that. Now, how I'm gonna do this is this is gonna be sitting up on the booms like this. So what I want to do, pretend this is left, that's right. On the left hand side is where I'm going to put my cap with the pressure gauge attached to it. I know I saw him in here somewhere. There's that. I'll get all this menagerie out. I don't know if I bought the right parts or not. There's kind of, that's for up here, I think. Yeah, that's for up there. I guess that's how that works. How that works? I don't know how that works. That felt right. I don't know. And so does that. Uh-oh. Like I said, I saw these and I thought, I can't say I'd ever seen something like that before, but I don't know, we'll try using them, see what happens. Worst case scenario is the thing blows up, right? Woo! Losing all sorts of goodies here. Just kind of doing a dry fitting. Let's see, this was supposed to be fluid filled. I guess it is. Well, there's problem number one. I think I ordered the wrong thing there. That's all right. I bet you I ordered a 1/4 inch when I went back in there and ordered this. That's what I get for doing this at midnight. Doesn't say. Doesn't say what it is. I gotta find those clamps. Those are just that style clamp. Ah, there we go. Oh, nicely done. Almost broke that. Let's see, make sure we didn't break it. We didn't. Luckily. Is that the right? Yeah, I think that's the right one. Feels right. So it's got to be right. Right? Yeah, it's the right one. You know what? That's gonna drive me nuts. Gotta look the same. Just got to. And we'll run that down on there. The idea is it goes around that flange, pulls that gasket taut. There we go. And that what I'll do, just to keep what I've got there in the same gauge that I got. That's what I get for going back and opting for the bigger one. Is what I'll do is I'll just get a adapter kit. I'm thinking something like that, just so I got something there on the end. We'll make it work. Alright, let's see what else we got over here. Dig through this menagerie of stuff. these going off the end like that. Kind of look through here and just see. I think that's just a kit. That must also be in the other box. I think that's just for the big one. It's like, I know I ordered. Yeah, there it is. There should be two of them in there. One of which is for that. One is for this out here. Now this is where this gets interesting. This is going to be on the end like that, facing down. Come over here and look. Because that flow meter that goes on here says that it has to be in a vertical position. So the thought process is have this come right off the side of this thing, have that go down. Doesn't leave much protection for that flow meter, but whatever. Yeah, so let's go put this on. See how many other parts I forgot. I'll rock this. Do I want to do it that way? Yeah, I guess. Alright, just as a little bit of a refresher, this thing's going to be sitting on here like this. Goodness gracious, I can't even get this thing square. I'm sorry, little things like that kind of annoy me. Not sure why. But they do. So on that same note, you know what? I'm gonna leave that. The more I think about it, because of how that's gonna sit. See, we needed this refresher. I needed this refresher. Because of how it's going to sit on there and where that flow meter is going to be. So anyway, because of how this is sitting on there and the fact that the back end of the booms are literally going to be right here, we needed at least a 45 to get the proper clearance. If I went to the 90s, they would obviously hit one another, where if we have the 45s, we can kind of make an arc with each of the these can't find the word I'm looking for, but each of these little deals, fittings, whatever you want to call them. Kind of a pain. Actually, they're not too bad, I guess. These are kind of interesting, the little gaskets. I've yet to figure out what the proper way is. If that's the proper way, or if no, it's definitely that. Just very interesting. Help us. See, it's catching, and then bloop, down it goes. That's what I don't like about them. Everything else, they're great. once you actually get it, not too bad. Now what we're going to do, we need to get our product from our pump up here and then over to here. There's a couple things we got to do. First thing, for whatever reason, when you're using these systems in bypass mode, I'll kind of pull this up and show you. Yeah, okay. This is how the diagram reads. It says the flow meter should be 5 to 7 inches from the top and then 10 to 12 inches from the bottom. So this is going to get interesting real quick. I don't know how important this is, so we're going to treat it like it's totally important and imperative. This is how it is. So we're gonna do, just gonna kind of go in. Just start. It's the worst that could happen, right? We're going to come off the top 5 to 7 inches. I'm just going to say, that sounds like 6 inches to me. So we'll put, take our tubing cutter. That is the top piece. Now, we'll measure off 12 inches. Looks like right where that one is. What we'll use, we'll take our tubing cutter here. Down there. Happening there. Very strange. Anyway, all right, now it's time to start putting together the main suction line, which is what we're going to be using that bumblebee hose for. Stuff right there. So I need my screwdriver. I had a guest stop by, so I quit recording, but in the meantime, I got that bypass line run. So there's our bypass valve. I got that menagerie put together down there. See it teed into the pressure line that goes up to the flow meter. The way that works is if that flow meter senses too much flow, that valve opens up, sends it back to the tank. So we gotta connect the tank to the system somehow. That's by this. I think this is a good idea. That's how all bad ideas were started. Here the neighbors are having fun, getting their dirt bikes out for the season. Okay, there's that. Now let's just see if we can indeed. Oh yeah, it's right off of there. Beautiful. Beautiful. And that's how we'll drain our system at the end of each year. Here I should have, yeah, maybe it's in there. Well, I thought I did. Yeah, there's one. This will be the back end of it. It does kind of stick out a ways. I don't know if I'm gonna like that or not, but again, it kind of Yep. There's always one. It has to be a problem child. This is that one. It's being a problem child. That's alright. We'll get it eventually. I wonder if that's not even the right clamp. Do I have any more clamps? No. What if we got any clamps? Thinking that's not even the right clamp. I'm gonna say that's probably the clamp. Yep, it helps if you use the right part. Most of the time. I say these things are finicky, but usually not that bad. So I was putting this together last week. I just didn't like how it was coming together. So this is our pressure line coming up off the pump. It goes through our main strainer. So, I mean, that still looks small, but I think we'll be all right. Anyway, that pressure line continues up to where it tees into our agitation circuit. And I got to thinking about that. Most agitation circuits have a valve to them. The old valve turned out to be cracked, so I use that to my advantage anyway. Went and got one of these flanged valves, also from Spray Parts Warehouse. Got a T for the one end, and then on the other I put in one of these banjo, I guess they call it a pressure spike valve. Basically, it's a relief valve. This one is set for 75 psi, so that means as long as this valve is open, the whole system cannot exceed 75 psi. So no matter what happens up there at our main boom valves, we have a safety valve for that. I don't know why I would ever have this shut, but I've been told that you want a valve on your agitation circuit. And like I said, the most of them that I've ever seen always had one. It's probably going to always be open. So anyway, that's our main pressure line, goes through the valve, goes under our pressure relief valve, and then this goes onward to our agitation circuit. So that said, we need to bolt this on to the swather. So as you can see, I already drilled some holes there. Oop. Keep hitting my head on stuff, I tell you. See, I did it again. Anyway, drilled some holes in there. That was fun. We'll give that to Hesston as well, or Fiat, or whoever the heck designed and built these. I believe these were built out of Hesston, Kansas. Still during the Fiat era, but nonetheless. As you can see, I made these holes bigger than they really needed to be. Punched these out at 3/8. These are 1/4 inch. And the reason I did that is I knew I wouldn't be real accurate being where they are at. I mean, trying to get up in here with a drill, even with using one of these little dimple punches to make your mark so that the drill bit doesn't dance all over. It is still not in the best location. So, I'm gonna open up our access door. Ooh, look, a little mouse nest. It's been inactive for a while, so that's always good. And I just hit my head again. That's even better. So all I'm doing is just going in, putting these nuts on, getting everything started so that so that they're ready and waiting for us. And you'll see why here in a minute, why I'm doing it this way. You may have already saw, but just give me a minute, guys. Give me a minute. There we go. So, the feet on this little valve are notched instead of just having holes drilled. So we're going to use that to our advantage here. We're gonna one started, and then the other, and watch. I was gonna say watch. Yeah. Why, you little. Well, the plan looked good in my head. I think I could only do 2 of them at once like that. That's all right. What we'll do is we'll just loosen up these. There we go. My goodness, man. There we go. Right as this piece of sheet metal's cutting right into my wrist. Oh man. Goodness. Goodness, goodness. Alright, I can't take that anymore. There we go. Set those there. One more run at it. Boom. It will not. It will not. It's just not working. It's just not working. And this is why I wanted to start them. We won't accept defeat here. There we go. Ah! There. Whew. All right, guys. Make sure we're going the right way before we get too much invested in this. Alright guys, I am back on the front, so kind of catch you up, I guess, it'd be fair to do. I got that bolted down, our agitation valve. There's our pressure release that we talked about. All I really did is just connect with some hose. I moved our T up here, so now you can see the T right there, splitting it to this agitation jet that's inside the tank. We're going to run another line from there off the back of that T. It'll go onto, well, I shouldn't say go onto, but it'll follow this hose up past our valve, then across to our other tank on the other side. So what we're going to do next is put this menagerie of valves on, and this is our directional valve. As you can see, it's just a 3-way ball valve, right? So in this position it'd be feeding the pump. In this position it would be in the fill position. So anyway, I made this piece on the milling machine. Again, I saved you some time. You've already seen me use that thing countless other times on this project. Just had some scrap steel laying around, ran two slots full length of that and welded it on. I did the slots as opposed to just regular old holes because should we ever replace this ball valve, and I don't see Banjo ever changing their style, but let's just say they did, we'd have the option to replace it with something a little different. Basically, we have some wiggle room is what I'm trying to say. Now, by the time that actually occurs, this sprayer will probably be in the junkyard. Then again, I don't know that. I like to build my stuff as if I'm going to run it forever, right? Isn't that the end goal? So you don't ever have to go through the pain and suffering of putting something together again, or working on something again. Although, it might be nice to get one of those big fancy sprayers someday. Anyway, all right, so that's where it's gonna go. You know, I already like that. I can already tell I'm gonna like that. Now, what I'm not gonna like is getting those two things to, oh boy, why? I don't think this is good. Yeah, it's not. It's got a hole in it. This is going to get interesting real quick, guys, because this bumblebee hose is about as friendly to work with as nothing. Now, what I should have done is I shouldn't have been so cheap and bought another bit of that stainless steel plumbing and put right there. I don't know what I was thinking. Really wasn't. Kind of just building this as I went. Not quite. If I could get a 5-inch swath, we'd be all right. So we'll come over here, measure out 5 inches. It comes to right about here. You know, this is real precise. Get the hacksaw. Just mark it. Not gonna cut. Now we're gonna cut. I got enough stuff in the way, I know. See? Got enough stuff in the way. Just want to mark it is what I'm trying to do. Before I go down here. It's a little harder to see what I'm doing. Yeah, this is just gonna be fun. All right, I'm gonna go get the heat gun so we can heat that up a little bit. I'm trying to think what, yeah. It's just not going to be fun. I'll catch you back here. Okay, so we're going to apply some heat to this. This might take a minute, but basically going to try to get this pliable. Maybe expand it a little bit. Gotta keep applying the heat. I'm feeling that rubber's just starting to warm up. We want it warm and pliable, but not tacky. As soon as that starts getting tacky, we're defeating the purpose as to why we're doing this. I'm gonna try that. There we go. You know what? This thought just occurred to me. And we're going to undo what we just did. Not with the hose so much, but with these bolts and nuts. We're just going to hit my head again. I'll hit the camera. Anyway. Man, those are just being plain tricky. There we go. So by taking this off, what I'm going to do is basically just turn the whole assembly as I mount it. It's the thought process here. That is the thought process. We'll try it. Look at that, guys. I am gonna take that. That is a great trick someone taught me. climbed almost back topside here. Alright, so now we're gonna make a hole in this tank, at least in the lid, because we gotta have a spot for our pressure relief exhaust to go should it ever open. Make short work of it. That'll be all right. These bung valves are always... Oh yeah, yep. So that thing's not quite 2 inches. Or the package lied to me, one of the two. Great. How much am I off? Enough. So, I'm going to do the right thing, waller it out. That was not safe by any means. Don't try that at home, kids. Not try that at home. I'm just getting this goo all over me. There we go. That's all we need. Ugh. That looks interesting, doesn't it? Let's get one of those. You can see the jet agitator down in there. Anyway, we're gonna put the rubber gasket slash bushing slash whatever you want to call it, lock nut. It serves a lot of purposes in this instance. There we go. There we go. Oh, dang it, I always forget that. And this goo is just all over. Debating if I want to take this down or just leave it hand tightened. I think I'm going to take it down. Yeah. I don't know if you can see in there or not, but there are holes in this tank now, in which we're going to put these bungs. So I'm going to do the hardest one first with you on camera so that you can laugh. Anyway, boom. I'm gonna do. I should have done this on the ground. There we go. Make a little bend. Then whee! Now we get to fight it to get it just right. Now we'll go down to the bottom. Actually, that looked too easy. Way too easy. Tell you what, I am liking this little shield I put on those valves. It's really coming in handy. So here it is. Now I just kind of guide it into the proper place. Hold your breath, guys. I mean, seriously. I probably could have made that hole a little bigger. And it's gonna be there we go. It's just about lining it up. And once you get it lined up, there we go. Now I know what you're thinking. Why are you doing this? Well, I'm gonna put a sight gauge on this tank. That other one's just in there for when I was drilling the holes. It's got to go on the inside yet. But anyway, I want to put a sight gauge on this thing, because on my old sprayer, that was always something, just something I wanted. Always seemed like you were guessing where your level was, and I just think that'll complement it quite nice. So I'm gonna go up, kind of do battle with this. I'll probably just reach in there and yeah, it's gonna be fun. But I will come back when we're ready to put our little sight tube in there. Now it's time to do battle with the most fragile pieces of all. That's these little elbows here. Now there's an even more fragile component out there, and that's if you get these in those cheapo nylon things that you can get at any farm store. These are at least a little bit heavier duty. I think they're EDPM, and see how I'm tightening it? That's how those just twist off and break. So I did the right thing and only bought two, the two that I need. So if I break one, I'm pretty much out of luck. But I think look at that. Not quite out of the woods yet. There we go. Because now we gotta put the poly tubing on there. And that only makes things even more interesting and fun. Sometimes. Just depends. It really depends on the weather. What I mean by that is how warm it is outside, and I totally missed. Look at that. Actually, this doesn't appear to be in bad. Oh yeah, look at that. Wow. Look at that. Kind of got these in my pocket, goofball. Alright, let's see. Let me just put that on there. We'll cut it right about there. Right at the half. And we'll take you. The hose clamps, I'm just gonna there we go. Nice. I guess I could have put the hose clamps on. I really thought we were gonna have some fun. You can see where I got some of these. At said farm store. They're not bad. It's just for certain things they don't have the components you need. Especially when it comes to spray parts. They got some. They'll get you out of a pinch. But I prefer not to use nylon fittings. They're just not heavy enough for our application. If you got a little lawn and garden sprayer, yeah. If rain's coming and everything else is closed, yeah. But it just is not what you need. There we go. That's what I mean. Some of these part stores, I tell you what, it's an odd mix of yeah, that's right, I got the rest of my screwdrivers up in the cab. I'm still sorting out all the precision ag stuff on this. And I say that like I've got RTK and, you know, swath control and all this other stuff. It just takes time, guys. Time which I don't have during tax season. Too bad I need this right after tax season. So that's why you gotta make time. There we go. Cool. For once in my life, I have a sight gauge. Now there's no more going, Trust me, when you're filling this, and it's a cloudy day, you don't want that. Don't want it. Alright, slowly but surely, we got all the major not plumb lines, that's not a word. Trunk lines run. We've got, our main trunk lines run. Our agitation lines are run. Our pressure release line is run. Now we need our regulator line run. I'm out of hose, so there's that. We're getting there. We're just getting there. That's all I can say. We're getting there. So, yeah.